everybody. That sort of response at the end of my speech. I've been told to actually read out a few cards to calm my nerves and stuff. I'm going to read out, we've got actually quite a lot to get through here, but I'm going to read out several and don't thank you. First one here says to Mark and Alison, may your future years be blessed with love and happiness, and God bless from Auntie Sis. Oh, I can't believe Sis is actually sitting down there. This one's actually quite nice. It's right grim, funny enough. It says, I'm actually happy for both of you. Lots of love and Nana D. Sounds like a pop band, doesn't it? To dear Alison and Mark, with love, good wishes and many congratulations on a wonderful day, Richard, Francis, Joanna and Rufus. Chuck the calm by the sound of it. This one says, to Alison and Mark, wishing you the dreams to fulfill you tomorrow and chemistry and a load of other garbage. I also love Mum and Dad. This one's actually correctly right, but speak up, love Grandad. Right. This one's actually a telegram. It says, Ali and Mark, on your wedding day, Karen and Nikki would just like to say, hope everything went well when the weather was fine, has been. Firstly, to their host and hostess. Secondly, to the bride and bridegroom, and ladies and gentlemen. Yeah. So you people from Edenbridge. I'm sure you all agree, so far it's been actually a wonderful day. Yeah. And I've heard anyone else so. I actually feel so happy and excited, I can hardly wait to hear what I've got to say for you. Well, it is time for me to make a speech now. And quite frankly, apart from what everybody else has said here this afternoon, there's not a lot anyone can do about it. Firstly, on behalf of the bridesmaids, I'd like to thank Mark for his kind words. And also congratulate him on the brilliant idea of actually holding the reception here this afternoon in one of his old nightshirts. You know, I feel it was going to be difficult for a speech by Mark this afternoon, and I was quite right, I couldn't pull a bloody word of it. I must just explain to you, those amongst you this afternoon, who don't already realise, my nerves again, who don't already realise that there are actually two best men here. I know Mark's already liking this on that. But I must point out straight away that I'm actually the best of the best men. And I actually believe John was just a reserve in case I didn't join.
Full of it.
You've got to get up there, John. I actually think Mark was more worried about this than actually Alison standing him up at the church herself. At the ceremony this morning, I'm sure you will all agree that the bride was absolutely stunning. With a groom, he just looks absolutely stunned. The sort of idea of the guy that Mark actually really is. Honestly, I'm not saying he's a prat, but he's Besides, I believe Mark actually gets a joy out of a good roasting. Looking at the state of his shirt this afternoon, firstly, I must just pick up on Mark's feeble excuse for having two good best men this afternoon, and only having one brain between us. My explanation of this is that Mark has always been a bit of a showman and exhibitionist. And if the truth is actually really known, Mark, if by some miracle you could put me and John together this afternoon, the only thing we would equal is that of your body weight. I'm not going to stand here this afternoon respect for what he's done this afternoon. I don't know why. I mean, marriage isn't for everyone. It's certainly not for me. I'm not single. I mean, I actually can remember trying to get out of a book club once. Oh dear. Well, honestly, 19 years. I was actually the first to meet Mark, closely followed by John, and we all met at our secondary school. I think I was going to try and say a joke about the 11 plus, and Mark actually thought that he had to eat 11 meals to get to the 11. And he was a bit despondent that he actually had 12 when he each meal. I don't think that'll go down too well. Anyway, we all went off to our first lesson, which happened to be English. And we had to read the book Jaws. Jaws, yeah. That remedial English. Anyway, I think the educational system is bad today, but obviously it is because no one had to do it. But when we were at school, we actually had to share 3 to a book. I was going to say something about a toss of good beer, but actually you did. So. Anyway, Mark, if you actually finished with the book by now, yes. John. And we met outside the school gates at about 3:15. Anyway, upon getting outside the school gates, I couldn't see Mark anywhere. And I looked up the road and there was this biggest, shiniest Mercedes that I've ever seen. And Mark was actually sitting in the back of it like a king. Giving me the wave out the window. Anyway, I proceeded over to the car. And I got in, and it was at this time I actually realised how lazy Mark was. Because he only lived a couple of minutes up the road. At this time I was only about 11. Mark didn't actually inform me that the driver of the car was his father until he was about 14. Anyway, upon arriving at his house, we actually went up into his game and up into his bedroom and we played all these games. And I suppose for this reason that I actually stayed with Mark because he had the bestest games in town. We actually had any good games. I was going to say something about Mark was actually allowed out until he was 16. I'm actually surprised he's here today. Also, I was going to humiliate Mark by saying that he used to cuff me to his radiator and so I couldn't go home in the evening. He used to rip my t-shirt off my back and rub me with a brush. Disease when I got home. Anyway, that was basically our school days. I actually left school when I was 16. I took an apprenticeship. And Mark and John actually stayed on to further their education. This guy's actually got a window box and he's actually had it paved over. Anyway, about a year later, I can actually remember when I was actually in my career, I can remember Mark's mum asking me what Mark would be when he left school. And to this I could only reply about 35. When Mark eventually left school, I'm sure as most of the room knows, not only did he have a huge belly, but also he had a pretty big personality. Mark's always been a bit of a joker. He's always laughing and shaking hands, even when he's alone. And it is this point in time that I must give a word of warning to Alison. Mark is actually a big drinker, Alison. Well, I can safely say that he's not actually drinking anymore. Also, he's not drinking any less. Take our stag night, for instance. I don't know if you want to know this. About 10 of Mark's closest friends, or 10 of his closest friends, because we can't make any new ones, we all went up to Nottingham for the weekend.
Ah, yeah.
And, I don't think Mark actually spent his money that weekend. Anyway, I can remember Mark actually he took the piss out of me all weekend because I was dressed up in green. It was Nottingham. Well, what he actually said was, I hope this weekend John isn't mean and we will meet on the village green before going. I thought he said dress all up in green. Well, when I actually left him that night, the last I saw of him, he was in the High Street trying to roll up the white line in the middle of the road. Anyway, Mark can only be summed up as an achiever. This man actually has a good head on his shoulders. I think it would actually be look better on a neck. As you all know, Mark actually works for his father in an insurance company. And when he first joined, he thought a Mutual Climax was an insurance company. Not that he's a bit naive. Anyway, at times I think Mark's mother and father wish they could actually get rid of him. I remember one lunchtime when Mark went out for the afternoon and he left a note on his office desk. It read, back in an hour. When he actually come back, he actually waited. Wait, Nick. As you all know, Mark has a number of sidelines. He's always buying and selling something. And I'm surprised to realise that he's not actually the Del Trotter of Edinburgh. Mark's actually working on his second million now. He's actually given up on his first. My handwriting has gone to pot now. Pack it in there now, Well, I must just say that it's actually now time to hand over to John. And a word of warning, his speech impediment's pretty bad, and if anyone actually doesn't realise what he's saying, a copy of his script will be out in the foyer later. But lastly, all joking aside, as the best man, and a man who likes to drink to anything, I'll be grateful if you would all give me the excuse to raise my glass and and make a toast to the happy couple. Firstly, I must give this a bit of advice to Mark. If you're clever, Mark, you always have the last word. But if you're really clever, you won't use it. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. and Mrs. Cloud, happy the Mark. I won't drag on like Nick. This one's to Mark and Alex. And it's all our love and all on your special day, love and happiness, love, Mum and Dad. I think this is from some taxi insurance company in Perth. I must say, thanks to Nick. He was good. Yeah. I must admit, he was well done, Nick. I was really worried about it. The last time Nick done a speech was at school in class, and he had to give 10 reasons why he shouldn't be in the girls' toilet. Right. And everything... Sorry, I'm... class. I'm phoned in now.
everything went well at the church, unlike when Alison and Mark went and heard their bands being written. You know, you have to go and hear it. Yeah? And the vicar was asking in his service, has anyone heard a ghost? And like, you know, a few of the congregation put their arms up. And then he asked, has anyone seen a ghost? And I suppose about 10 people put their arms up. And then he asked, this is before he met Alison, he asked, has anyone slept with a ghost? And Mark put his arm up. So the vicar said, oh Mark. Oh, no, he probably didn't know. No. Great church, you are. Mark, said, come down to the front. So Mark trotted down to the front. And he said to Mark, so, you've slept with a ghost? And Mark replied, I'm sorry, I thought you said go.
Oh, come on.
On this note, I must say congratulations to Chelsea. And anyway, I've had the unfortunate experience going on holiday with Mark on Cop. How many times, Mark? Yeah, more than that. I think got a bit boring. You're coming on the honeymoon. So, anyway, on our first holiday, I suppose we was about 18. And when you actually go on holiday, you actually find out what it's really like. I mean, kind, considerate, educated, helpful, sense of humour. You know, Mark and Phil, none of these. I mean, Mark's so lazy, he actually had to go to hospital to have a sofa removed from his backside. Anyway, back to the holiday. You know, Mark, I didn't realise Mark was such a hypochondriac. I mean, the first 3 days, Mark kept coming and going, oh, I'm not well. And then he got laser pain. He got German belly. He got deli belly. And it was evident by the huge amount of reading material in the toilet. James Marks and South East Traders. Anyway, when we was on holiday, the lady next door diagnosed Mark with sunstroke. Yeah, he did, yeah, absolutely. And she prescribed him on antibiotics. Yeah. So, I said to her, so you're a doctor, are you? And she said, no, I work at Tesco. Anyway, I don't know if the antibiotics actually worked, but by the end of the holiday, Mark grew a lovely pair of boots. Talked in a high-pitched voice and asked me for a date. Anyway, it's dragging on a bit. Yeah. So Mark being a married man now, he needs to point you in the direction of direction to his house. Alright, yeah. And just like that with this well, I've got a big Mark. What a man! Right. Right. First of all, Mark, I think, you know, I've been around your house a few times, yeah, and I really don't think you do enough dusting. I think it's due to the point that you're a bit of a white-collar worker. It could be, actually. So, if my man Nick would like to put this on, Mark, just to, like... No, you don't have to unbutton it, just stick it over. I've got one. Get it over there. Red Mark. And also, I know you like to keep your hands soft, Mark. Yeah. So there's a nice pair of marigolds for you. I'll put one for you. There you go. My wedding ring gets stuck in this button on it. Retrieve it. Right. Little note about washing up, Mark. Yeah. Yeah. The best time to do the dishes is right after you've been told. All right. Yeah, Mark, alright. Mark, bring your blah blah out. That's it. We haven't got any of these. Yeah. That's a bit nuts. John's giving me a model of himself. That's a bit of a nice time entertainment. And all, last of all, this is when you forget your anniversary. Right. Oh, thank you very much. As Nick and John both have really said, I do like to have the last word. And some of you are wondering probably why I am quite so fat. It's just that every time I shake John and Nick's girlfriend, their girlfriend gave me a piece of cake.